Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a very long time since I've done a Let's Talk video, specifically a tea time conversation. So this is video 2, and hopefully more videos to come. Today I am enjoying a lovely cup of vanilla chai in this adorable mug that a friend's mother gave me sometime last year, and I've only used it once, so I thought today would be a perfect video. Kind of fits the vibe of the colors of the video today, so I hope that you will prepare a lovely cup of tea as well to join me in today's topic. Today's topic is going to be Mori Kei entertainment. And just as a little disclaimer, I will be looking off to the side here. I have my iPad set up with my list, so every once in a while when I look over, that's why. So the idea of this video is I made a list, each have 10 things. The subjects are movies, TV shows, books, and music. And it is 10 things that are in those that kind of have a Mori Kei feel, Mori Kei vibe, that kind of thing. The fun thing about Mori Kei is that it's not only just a fashion, it's also a lifestyle. So when you find things that fit into it, it just makes it all the more fun to want to wear the fashion. You know, everybody does that with their fashion. If you were into the, the goth fashion, then you're going to listen to goth music, you're going to watch gothic films, read gothic books. So it's just the same thing with Mori Kei. So this list is comprised of things that I found on websites as well as my own personal editions. So the information that I got are from different websites on Google. One of them specifically being the aesthetics wiki or wiki fashion. I can't remember, it's either one of those. I'll put the name somewhere around here. And it is a popular site that talks about all types of fashion, and one of them is Mori Kei, and it had the lifestyle section. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the list. That's good tea. All right, so the first topic that I will be talking about for entertainment is movies. I have 10 movies in this list. Some of them were found on the websites mentioned before, and some are my own addition. And I'm going to try my very best to explain what these films are about, the ones that I'm familiar with, and how it fits into the Mori Kei aesthetic. So the first one is going to be anything by Studio Ghibli. Specifically My Neighbor Totoro and The Secret World of Arrietty. My Neighbor Totoro is, I've actually never seen this one, which is kind of bad because I love Studio Ghibli and that's like one of the most popular shows, is My Neighbor Totoro. But what it is about is this little creature that only young children can see, and it kind of like guides the children through life. They have fun adventures, and then when the children grow up, they don't see him anymore. So he's like a little cat looking animal thing, kind of like a cat and a raccoon. I don't really know exactly what he's supposed to be, but that's what he looks like to me. And then The Secret World of Arrietty is my absolute favorite because it is inspired by the Borrower's book, and Arrietty is the main character, and so this is kind of like Studio Ghibli's version of it. It goes further into her story, and how she learns to be a borrower, and how she's saving her home from being destroyed. And it just has a very Mori Kei feel. It has some very soft music. Both of them do. Soft music, nature themes. So it fits perfectly into the aesthetic. The second one is The Secret of NIMH. I grew up with both of these movies. They are both animal-based movies. They are about mice and rats, and how the mice are trying to save their land from the rats, and they befriend the rats, and I won't go full into it, but they are very, very perfect for the Mori Kei aesthetic. A lot of these films have things to do with animals, with nature, living out in the woods, so yeah. The third one is The Secret Garden. Self-explanatory gardens, vintage feels, kind of a fairy tale aesthetic almost. Same thing with Pollyanna, kind of like that very childlike look to life. That's one of the things I've noticed with Mori Kei, is just having a very childlike personality, not childish, childlike. Seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, enjoying the simplest things of life. Anne of Green Gables is also self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure that there are tons and tons of you that know about Anne of Green Gables. But for those who don't, it is based off of a book series about a young girl who is living in the early Edwardian period in Canada, and she is going through life learning about who she is. She becomes an author at one point. She is really into fairy tales. She's into Shakespeare. So it's a lovely series to watch if you want to have that Mori Kei feel. Another one is Peter Rabbit. There are 2 films of Peter Rabbit, as well as probably some older films. Again, animal themed. We all love Peter Rabbit. Little Women is a great film to watch as well. There's many different versions. I personally like the ones with Winona Ryder and Saoirse Ronan, I believe that's what her name is, both who play Jo. Again, it has that very homey, cozy feel. This one might be a little intense for Mori Kei, but I'm still putting it in there. It is Narnia. Very fantasy themed. It has, animals and little magical things. Very cozy feel. It's a great film to watch during the winter time. Also, Alice in Wonderland is also a great film to watch. There's many different versions of them. I personally love one from the 70s, as well as the Disney version. Both are perfect for a Mori Kei feel. And then this very last one was my edition, The Secret of Kells. This was a film that I grew up with probably when maybe I was about 10 to 12 years old, and it is a lightly historically inspired film about this boy who is tasked to keep safe what is called the Book of Kells. And the Book of Kells is a real book. It is the 4 Gospels of the New Testament, and it is this beautifully illustrated, gold-gilded book that was written in the medieval times by Irish monks. And so this book has very fairy tale Irish folklore themes to it. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. Highly recommend people looking it up. So it is perfect for Mori Kei. Mori Kei, one of the things that is in the list of Choco's official Mori Girl checklist, which I have a video for it. I will try to put the little video link thing right here that you can go check that out. But one of the things is fairy tales. And so that is a part of the Mori Kei, Mori Girl lifestyle. And so The Secret of Kells is absolutely perfect. So going right along with the theme of movies are TV shows, because some of us like to binge watch shows. So I also have 10 TV shows on here. Some of them might not make sense, but once I explain it, you'll definitely see that they fit right into the Mori Kei aesthetic. The first one is Tales from Moomin Valley, which was made in the 70s, I believe. Moomin is this adorable little goblin creature that is created by Sweden. He looks like a hippo to me, but I found out it's kind of like a troll goblin creature. I can't see that at all, but that's what it is this little fantasy creature. And so there's a TV show about it, and I have to let my mother know because my mother is absolutely in love with anything Moomin. The next one is Anne with an E. This was a TV show that was made a few years ago that kind of further explores the Anne of Green Gables series. I personally haven't seen it yet, but it, again, fits right into the Mori Kei theme of cozy. I know this is the sacrilegious word for Mori Kei, but cottagecore. Both have similarities to them, but they don't. I also have a video about that called What Isn't Mori Kei, so if you want to check that out as well. But they sort of have a similar feel to them, and so Anne with an E fits into this. Another TV show is called Over the Garden Wall. I personally haven't seen this TV show yet, but I've been wanting to for a very long time. It has, again, a very, I don't know, it kind of like reminds me of Narnia for some reason. It has a very fantasy feel to it. I don't know who it's by. It also has a Studio Ghibli feel. So that was part of the list from the website I mentioned earlier. So I definitely want to check it out. Another one is The Great British Bake Off. This one caught me by surprise, but it makes sense because, you know, it's cozy, it's homey, it's baking, you're in the kitchen. That's a Mori Kei cozy feel. That's the whole thing about Mori Kei, is being cozy and homey. And so the Great British Bake Off is perfect because it is a TV show about these people who are invited to be on this TV show who aren't the greatest at baking, and they try to make these dishes that the judges will later taste and decide who was the greatest baker. And so it's just super fun to watch. I grew up with this TV show, so it makes me want to go back and watch it now. Another TV show, this is one I grew up with, is Little Bear. It is a very nostalgic type of TV show. It's about a little brown bear who just has these fun little adventures and learns his lessons throughout it. He has all of these little friends, and, you know, again, it's animals, so it's perfect for Mori Kei. Another one, a few of these I'm not familiar with. The Big Flower Fight. I think this is also a British TV show, and it's kind of the same idea with the Bake Off, but creating floral designs. And then they are judged by a group of judges. So it's very nature themed, you know, putting together floral decor. So it sounded pretty interesting, so that's why I put it on the list. This one, I have no idea what it is about, but it looked Mori to me. Hakume and Mikochi. I am not familiar with this TV show at all, but it was on a cottagecore TV show list, and so I added it to this list. Another one is Little House on the Prairie. This is perfect. It fits right along into the same idea as Anne of Green Gables. It's very homey, you know, takes place in the later years of the Civil War. It's, you know, about a family who is living their lives throughout the South, learning lessons. It's mainly about a little girl named Laura Ingalls, so it's perfect for a Mori Kei binge watch. Another one, this one is just for my personal reference, Angelina Ballerina. This is a TV show about a little mouse whose dream is to be a professional ballet dancer. And it has a very Mori feel to it. It's very fantasy-like, very, you know, super darling. I just love it. So I wanted to add it in here because I see that as Mori. It's very cozy. And then last but not least, this one's kind of a silly joke, but it kind of fits, is Gravity Falls. I've been off and on watching this TV show. It's about these two siblings who discover these mysterious books that talk about all of these fantastical creatures that live in the forests of Oregon. So, you know, think Bigfoot, think Loch Ness Monster, think the Mothman, gnomes, elves, vampires, zombies, all of that. But it's funny to me because it takes place in Oregon, which is where I'm originally from. And it has a very fantasy feel, but in a modern setting. It's a cartoon. But I don't know, it just kind of fit into it. So let me know in the comments if you agree, if Gravity Falls fits into a Mori Kei TV show aesthetic. All right, next on the list is books. And you will notice that I will be repeating a few things throughout these different entertainments because they all fit into the aesthetic. And a lot of like the movies and films that I mentioned are taken from books. So I wanted to add those books into the list just in case if you're not into watching movies and TV shows, you can still have that cozy Mori Kei feel in your reading. So the first one I added is Anne of Green Gables. There's a whole book series that this TV show and these movies are inspired from. They are beautiful books, highly recommend them. I love the author. The next one is called The Little White Horse. There is a film also called The Secret of Moonacre that is slightly inspired from the book. And I added this on here because it has a Mori feel to it. It's very fantasy-like, but it is set in the late Victorian, early Edwardian period. It's about a young girl who is discovering the mysteries of a home that she goes to live with that is owned by her cousin. The movie has a more magical feel to it. You know, there's an actual curse on the mansion and she has to break the spell and that kind of thing. But the book has more of a Mori Kei feel to me than the movie. So that's why I added it to this list. The next one is Anything by Beatrix Potter. I mentioned Peter Rabbit earlier. She is the one who created Peter Rabbit. All of her books are all animal themed. And they sound like little humans, but they're animals. But they're all dressed in cute little outfits and live, you know, human lives in the animal world. And it was written during the Edwardian period, so they're all dressed in cute little tailcoats and little skirts and bonnets and that kind of thing. So I definitely recommend Beatrix Potter and Peter Rabbit. My favorite book by her is Jemima Puddle Duck. So I recommend checking that out. The next book on here is Peter Pan. Again, fantasy, you know, he's a little fairy boy that comes to take human children to this place called Neverland where they never grow up and they have all of these fun little adventures. Grimm's Fairy Tales, this one is probably going to be one of the #1 things that I recommend if you're wanting to have a Mori Kei feel to your reading list. As I mentioned before, Choco loved anything European fairy tales, so especially Southern Europe, so the Grimm's Fairy Tales is perfect. You know, things like Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Hansel and Gretel, all of those stories are perfect for a Mori Kei feel. And the next is The Secret Garden. This is another book that was written during the early Edwardian period. It is about a young girl who lives in India and then was taken to England and discovers this garden in her family's backyard that was completely abandoned, and so she goes through these many days of trying to restore this garden and find some other secrets hidden along with it. So it has a very mysterious fantasy feel to it, and it's gardening, so like, you know, it fits. These last 4 were my addition. The Hobbit. I personally feel like this fits into Mori Kei because, again, it kind of goes well into Narnia, which is another book I added on here. It goes well into the Grimm's Fairy Tales. It just has, you know, a very fairy tale fantasy. I mean, it's a fantasy book series, you know, The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, so it's absolutely perfect to add into your Mori Kei reading list. Another one I added is the Spiderwick Chronicles. This one's more of a children's book, but I personally enjoyed them. It almost feels like it's a diary about this boy who learns about all of these different fairies that live in his backyard. And I won't tell too much about it because I want you to read it, but they also have a TV show, and it's really, really good. I really enjoy it, and I feel like it fits into that Over the Garden Wall Studio Ghibli theme. And then the last that I added is Redwall. Redwall is a book series that also was made into a TV show when I was a kid, and it is about a mouse that lives in the medieval times, and he is trying to save the kingdom from, you know, his enemies, and it just has a really sweet Narnia feel to it. It's all animals, no humans whatsoever, but it just kind of fits. So you'll notice that these themes of movies and TV shows and books, before I go into my last subject, all have a fairy tale, fantasy, cozy theme to them. And that's the idea of Mori Kei, is it's cozy, it's warm, it's, you know, you are supposed to look like someone who lives in the forest, and you can't have that without having a fantasy, whimsical feel to it. So all of these things that I've mentioned so far will help you have that feeling, help you have that imaginative look on what the Mori Kei lifestyle is in terms of entertainment. All right, and last but not least, I wanted to add music as well. Especially because I am someone who expresses their feelings through music most. Whenever I want to feel a certain emotion, or whenever I feel the most emotion, is through music. When I am walking through a forest, I want to have some type of whimsical fantasy music playing, because I have that emotion of, oh, I'm on an adventure, I'm on a mystical, whimsical, looking for fantasy type things in a forest. I hope that makes sense. And so for me to feel in my Mori aesthetic, I have some music that I listen to. So a lot of these are my own additions. Some of them I've listened to, some of them I haven't. And I definitely want to go listen to them now. So yeah, here are 10 music artists, types of themes that I'm going to recommend. So the first one is, and I'm probably going to botch her name, but she is one of my absolute favorite Japanese artists. Her name is Ichigo Aoba. Her music has a very Japanese folk feel to it, very fantasy, very soft. I really don't know what the theme of her music is, but I just love it, and it feels so Mori to me. A lot of you in the Mori Kei community probably will agree, to those who are familiar with her. Another one is Simon and Garfunkel. I love Simon and Garfunkel. Their music, you know, they were writing in the 70s and the 80s. And just something about folk indie music written in the 70s has a very fantasy feel to them. So that's why I wanted to add them on here. This next one, they don't write music anymore from what I understand, but when I was first getting into Mori Kei, I came across one of their songs. I don't remember the name of it, but it just, I was like, yeah, this is Mori Kei. And again, I'm probably going to botch the name, but the Popoyans, and they're also a Japanese band, was a Japanese band. They don't make music anymore, but I highly recommend listening to them. Another one is Enya. I grew up listening to Enya. She is a Irish indie artist. Her music is very Irish folklore inspired. She sings a lot of music in Gaelic, so you know, that is her heritage. She wrote music for Lord of the Rings. She does like Christmas music in Gaelic. It just feels very fantasy-like to me, and it's perfect. Another one, this is one that I came across on Spotify a while back, but Tico Moon. Tico Moon is an indie artist, and a lot of their music feels very Mori to me, very Studio Ghibli-like. And going right into that, any music by Studio Ghibli, you know, just listening to soundtracks like My Neighbor Totoro or The Secret World of Arrietty. I've listened to The Secret World of Arrietty soundtrack so much. It's very Mori to me. And then another one, there's 3 here that I'm unfamiliar with, and then one I added because it feels Mori to me. The Oh Hellos, the Paper Kites, and Noah Khan, I think that's how you say his name. And these 3 artists, from what I understand from doing some research, are very indie folk pop like. A lot of folk music is perfect for Mori Kei because they all have that very cozy feel to them. From what I understand, the Paper Kites are a Christian band as well too. So, and going into that, the last one I added is Josh Garrels. He is one of my favorite indie Christian artists. He has a very soft voice. His music is very calming, very poetic, and it just, you know, for my, you know, Christian friends out there who are into Mori Kei or wanting to get into Mori Kei or just want some cozy type of worship music to listen to, Josh Garrels. I highly recommend. So there is a fun list of all of the Mori Kei types of entertainment that you can get into if you're wanting to have more of that feel. I would love to have more films or movie recommendations or books down in the comments below if you've been into Mori Kei for a while and have found some things that fit into this list. This was kind of a fun topic to research, so I definitely am going to be looking into some of these TV shows and books, and even some of the music too, because like I said, I love music. So but yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Also, please let me know if there are other subjects that y'all would like me to discuss that would fit into the Mori aesthetic, into the fashion and all. I definitely have some fun things planned in the future. So yeah, just leave a comment, leave a like, if you don't mind. It helps me a lot, and I will talk to you all very soon. So bye.